Right now at 10, the topic of free speech and what is considered acceptable apparel in the workplace.
And the city's night market is back for its third year, just wrapping up downtown. We'll check it out straight ahead.
From the Channel3000.com Alert Center, this is News 3 Now at 10.
And thanks for joining us. Last night, we shared the story of a Madison City employee who was asked not to wear his Make America Great Again hat to work.
It has been creating a lot of buzz. So today, Madeline O'Neill spoke with area lawyers to find out what workplaces can say about what you wear to the office. Maddie?
Well, we all know the First Amendment protects our right to free speech, but even that has some limitations, including in the workplace.
I support the United States of America.
As we told you Wednesday, Felix Caraballo feels signaled out for not being allowed to wear his Make America Great Again hat to work as a City of Madison street sweeper, while he says coworkers can wear Medicare for All pins.
I know the rules, but I wanted them to apply the rule equal for everybody.
Just what are those rules?
The Supreme Court has said that anything that has the potential to disrupt the workplace can be prohibited.
Civil rights lawyer Jeff Scott Olson says private workplaces aren't governed by the First Amendment, meaning employers can tell their employees not to wear or display political material.
No one's ever got around to passing a law or enacting a constitutional provision that requires private employers to afford their employees any degree of freedom of expression in the workplace.
Public employers are governed by the First Amendment, but can still impose restrictions.
The thing that government can't do is it can't discriminate on the basis of content. In other words, it can't say the Republicans can wear their Republican slogans and the Democrats can't wear theirs, or vice versa.
So where does that leave Caraballo? As a government employer, the city can't discriminate based on content. City Assistant Attorney Steve Bliss says the MAGA hat is directly associated with one candidate's campaign, whereas a Medicare for All button is not. So the hat violates the rule that no employee can wear or display campaign material. Still, Olson recommends caution.
That's going to be something that the powers that be in the city are going to have to look carefully at.
According to Assistant City Attorney Steve Brist, there have been no complaints filed regarding any Medicare for All buttons recently. He also says over the last at least 10 years, no city employee has been disciplined because of that rule that you can't wear or display political campaign material.
All right, Madeline O'Neill reporting tonight. Maddie, thank you.
You're welcome.
There will be an increased police presence tomorrow following 3 separate occasions where officers were called to Verona Area High School today for fights. Just hours apart, Verona PD says they were first called just before noon for a fight between a small group. Another fight led to a larger police presence just before 1 p.m. After that fight, upset parents actually entered the school. Police say they were yelling and threatening staff. A third fight then broke out near the end of the school day at 2:45. In total, police say there were 3 injuries. 2 were to minors, 1 was to an adult. Police arrested 3 juveniles. In an email sent to parents tonight, the district wrote, quote, students involved in these altercations have been suspended out of school until further notice and their parents contacted. Additional school consequences may be issued if warranted at the conclusion of our investigation.
Records are continuing to fall in Duluth, Minnesota for a second straight day. They broke the daily snowfall record. They got more than 8 inches yesterday and more than 2 again today. They also broke the record for most snowfall for this month with more than 11 inches in only 9 days. So this brings the season total to 104.4 inches. Let's get a look at our forecast now. No snow included. Here's meteorologist Dana Fulton.
No snow for us. I think we'd have a lot of unhappy campers if that were the case. Right now it is mostly cloudy outside, and thankfully we're not really looking at any rain chances overnight either. As we look at our Doppler track for the last several hours, it's been dry for southern Wisconsin. We did see a little bit of rain early this morning, mainly along the eastern edge of the state. This is a look at our 24-hour precipitation accumulation. Notice most of the rain today has actually been over towards Michigan. Right now we're at about 44 in Madison and in Dubuque, 45 towards Rockford. So temperatures throughout the northern Midwest really in the same spot. Compared to this time yesterday, though, it is a few degrees cooler for us. We've dropped just a little bit in the last 24 hours. The other part of that story, of course, are dew points. Right now, our dew points are in the 30s. As our temperatures fall overnight to the upper 30s, there is the potential to have some patchy fog for early tomorrow morning. Our overnight low will be about 39 in Madison. By 7 o'clock, we have a little bit of sunshine, about 41, and afternoon highs will be close to 60 with the sun returning for Friday and for Saturday. We'll take a closer look at what's ahead for your weekend in just a few minutes.
Dana, thank you. New tonight, federal prosecutors have filed 109 hate crime charges against 19-year-old John Ernest, the man accused of killing a woman in a synagogue in California last month. Authorities say he fired at least 8 shots inside the synagogue, injuring 3 others. Ernest has already pleaded not guilty to charges of murder and attempted murder on the state level. New information tonight about the bus driver who was charged with 2 counts of first-degree sexual assault.
We've learned 74-year-old Gary Dean Edwards drove for the Partyville and the Portage school districts. Edwards reportedly retired with Smith's Bus Company in December, then got a new job with Go Right Way in January. At that time, charges had not yet been filed, so he was able to pass a background check. In a statement today, the bus company said the moment we learned of these charges, he was removed from all work at Go Right Way. Edwards' bus surveillance video is being investigated by Columbia County sheriffs. A Madison man says the city is making him spend thousands of dollars to remove a concrete slab on his property. Mike Wagner lives in the Dudgeon Monroe neighborhood. He says the slab was installed by a previous owner in 1983. He was never told it was an issue, even when the city did an inspection of the property when he purchased the home back in 2012. But this fall, he got a letter from city engineering explaining the slab violated city code and had to go.
So we're not exactly sure what they want us to do other than spend a bunch of money to change something that we didn't put here in the first place.
Wagner plans to dispute the city. The city said it's open to hearing any concerns residents have regarding use of public right-of-ways. For more details, you can go to channel3000.com.
U.S. Coast Guard had to launch an emergency rescue this afternoon when a whale-watching boat with dozens on board started taking on water. This was near Smith Island, Washington. It's not known how the water started getting into this 60-foot catamaran, but the Coast Guard says all 45 people on board are safe. They were wearing their life jackets. Governor Tony Evers says he intends to keep fighting to expand Medicaid, despite a vote today to remove that measure from the state budget. The Republican-controlled Budget Committee voted 11-4 this morning to remove some 130 items from the governor's proposed budget. Those items are not dead, however. They could be added in later or considered as separate legislation. The White House press secretary says President Trump is expected to nominate acting Defense Secretary Patrick Shanahan to be his permanent pick to replace James Mattis at the Pentagon. General Mattis resigned in December. Shanahan took over in an acting role in January.
A South Central Wisconsin teacher has been named Educator of the Year, one of just 4 in the state to earn the title this year. The Department of Public Instruction says Chelsea Miller has been awarded the Elementary School Teacher of the Year award. She's an art teacher at Sullivan and West Elementary Schools in the Jefferson School District. The middle and high schools awards both went to Milwaukee teachers, and the Special Services Teacher of the Year is from Washburn. A major medical company is expanding its Rock County headquarters. Shine Medical Technologies broke ground on its second building today. It will be a 43,000 square foot facility that will produce a third of the world's demand for medical isotopes. The company says it will expand its staff from 90 to about 150 employees.
Despite the unsummer-like weather tonight, Madisonians were out and about downtown. It was the city's first night market of the season. More than 80 vendors offered everything from pretzels and pottery to cupcakes and candles. If you didn't make it out tonight, you have 3 more chances this season. Still ahead tonight, after an unusually wet season last year, many farmers say they aren't feeling as confident going into the growing season.
How they're continuing to grapple with the uncertain weather in this News 3 Now exclusive when we come back.
Welcome back. As local farmers begin another growing season, many are not feeling as confident.
Our Amanda Quintana shows us how last year's heavy rain has farmers worried that could be the new normal.
We bring them in, they're in here for a few weeks, they go out to the field.
This routine, something Steve Pincus has come to get used to, farming for most of his adult life.
I started seriously in '76.
But still, he says he hasn't perfected it.
There's stuff to figure out every year because conditions are different every year.
In some ways, that's part of the appeal of the industry, always taking on a new challenge.
It's just become more intensified.
But his 43 years didn't prepare him for 2018.
It was by far the wettest year I've ever seen.
A weather change so dramatic, it has Pincus thinking it can't just be blamed on the ups and downs of farming.
We've seen a lot more heavy rainfalls. By that I mean 2- and 3-inch pounding rains. And that always has happened some, but now it's happening frequently.
Because of this climate change, TP Produce had its worst season for overall production last year.
We couldn't come close to the yields and quality that we were used to.
Sensitive vegetables like carrots, no match for heavy rains.
It beats up the plants, it opens up, it creates wounds, it opens them up to disease. And 1 or 2 storms a year, okay, they will recover, they'll heal from it. But when it's too frequent and we have too much moisture and humidity in the air, we see a lot more plant diseases.
The certified organic farm in Evansville can usually handle its fair share of water.
What you see is rye. It's a grass.
A quarter of the produce was destroyed, meaning Pincus's earnings last year were essentially zero.
Normally I would say, yes, we're going to do better. But last year it was such a big deal. The weather was so intense that it puts some doubt in my mind. And that's hard to farm with that doubt.
And he's not the only farmer going into this season less confident.
It's pretty clear things are changing.
The proof in the produce, or the lack of.
Most years, like all through September, all of our produce sales are local. And this year we were hurting to find even just a few things that we had enough volume that we could actually promote and sell a lot of.
At Willie Street Co-op, it was obvious their local producers were hit hard.
We probably saw some that had 50, 70% losses, which for a younger farmer who doesn't have a lot of resources built up could be really, really detrimental to their business.
And we actually based our land purchase thinking about climate change.
It's David Bachhuber's 3rd year and just his first full season on this new farm. He's feeling more prepared because of last year's losses.
So we know that if we have a drought, we have a great well and we're covered there. And we know that if it rains too much, we get a little bit of drainage without having all of our soil wash out.
He says he didn't even realize the climate change last year since he's so new to the industry.
And so it's actually been in talking to older farmers that I could really find out, wow, this is very much outside the norm.
He found a mentor in Pincus, learning how to build his own 30-acre farm.
We're building a greenhouse, we're building a wash area, we're building coolers, we're building a lot right now. So there's a lot of change that's happening in this farm. The thing about farming is it's just filled with so many variable challenges. Like the whole thing is stacked with challenges. And so it was just another one to take into account.
One wet, bad year for a mature farmer is just one of many good years, but it's 40% of Bachhuber's farming experience, so he's ready for it to continue.
If it's rain, if it's hail, if it's snow, if it's random cold, if it's random heat, if it's a total drought, we have to be prepared for all of those things. And so it is really about using our time now to be able to prepare for that and not to be surprised.
And if last year is any indication, farmers will need to adapt fast.
And if that average is changing quickly, then we're going to have trouble.
In Evansville, Amanda Quintana, News 3 Now.
Because farmers couldn't sell to Willie Street Co-op at their usual lower price, the store had to raise the price of some of their local products. They say this climate change could continue affecting consumers.
We're sharing the stories of women you will see in this year's Susan G. Komen More Than Pink Walk all month long in our series Why We Walk. But it's a walk of a different kind that propelled one Stoughton woman through her breast cancer fight.
I said God would not take me before I could walk my baby down the aisle, which is exactly what I did.
And cancer not only didn't take Wanda's life, it didn't steal her spirit either, but it's what Wanda did after that walk that you don't want to miss. We'll hear from Wanda and her newlywed daughter tomorrow, only on News 3 Now this morning.
Look forward to that story. Meteorologist Dana Fulton joins us now with a look at our improving forecast.
Yes, little baby steps every day, but things are really going to improve tomorrow just by getting some sunshine in the forecast for Friday afternoon. Temperatures will be similar to our highs today, but again, having that sunny sky will be a nice change for us. Today we did hit a high of 60 degrees. That was pretty early in the morning, though. It wasn't an afternoon high at all. Temperatures actually fell through the day as a cold front slid on through. Started the day off in the mid-40s. And now we're going to fall right on back through the 40s for us. So Doppler track's pretty quiet. We don't have any more rain sliding in for this evening. Just a very cloudy sky right now. In the last 24 hours, our rainfall totals really favored towards the eastern side of the state. But there were a few spotty spots this morning where we had some drizzle and a little scattered shower sliding on through. That low pressure, though, is now headed well to the east. The rain associated with it impacting the New England area overnight and for tomorrow. We have high pressure that's going to be ridging in and keeping us quiet for Friday and most of Saturday. It's not until Saturday night that we start to see a little cloud coverage increasing and our next chance for rain starting to move in for Mother's Day. So tomorrow, a few clouds early in the morning and then partly sunny later in the afternoon. Our breeze will be coming from the northeast for Friday. Shifts directions by Saturday, a little more southerly flow. Our temperatures will be just a degree or two warmer for Saturday. Partly sunny sky for Saturday afternoon, and then that rain chance starts to creep in on Sunday. We're looking at that chance for showers, especially along the western edge of the state. I'm not ruling out the opportunity for anyone to see a little bit of rain. The good news, though, we're not looking at any thunderstorm or severe weather potential for Sunday. It's just a shower chance coming on in for us. Overnight lows will fall to the upper 30s. It'll be a little cool early in the day, and then in the afternoon we'll be close to 60. Again, that was our high for today. But that's going to be sunny and in the afternoon, so it'll be a little more pleasant outside with that 60 degrees. By Saturday, our breeze starting to shift and come from the south in the afternoon. High temperatures will be in the middle to lower 60s by Saturday. Looking ahead to Mother's Day, of course, our News 3 crew and all of our moms, and the newest mom, Amanda Caulfield, down in the corner with Dave. Our Mother's Day forecast will be in the upper 50s, but again, there is that chance for showers, especially to the western area. So far this month, we've picked up just over 1.5 inches of rain. That is above average for us. It feels like we've picked up just a little more because we've been stuck in this rut of just cloudy skies and dreary weather. But our official total so far at about 1.69 inches. Mostly cloudy tonight with some patchy fog possible early in the morning as the temperatures are going to fall pretty close to our dew points. Tomorrow we're looking at a high of 60. Our skies will steadily become partly sunny and our breeze coming from the northwest at about 5 to 10 miles per hour. That chance of rain is going to develop Saturday night and linger into our Sunday for Mother's Day. Temperatures on Mother's Day will be just a little bit cooler, but still in the upper 50s. Looking ahead to next week, we're actually expecting a little milder weather. Monday will still be below average, but 63 and partly sunny. Tuesday, we warm up quite a bit. We have a chance for rain developing in the afternoon. That'll linger overnight into Wednesday. That shower chance on Wednesday seems mainly in the morning right now. And then temperatures by the end of the week will just continue to climb. Our following weekend doesn't look too bad right now. We are trending on the up and up for that weekend, getting close to 80 for both Saturday and Sunday. But this weekend, of course, with commencement and Mother's Day, both look okay. Even with the shower chance, it shouldn't be too bad outside on Sunday.
You know, it will take a little bit of rain as opposed to a whole lot of it.
Correct. Just a little drizzle is fine.
All right. Thank you.
The Bucs will have to wait a little longer to find out their opponent in the Eastern Conference Finals. The story coming up in sports.
The Bucks have to wait until Sunday to find out who they're going to play in the Eastern Conference Final. That's because Toronto and Philadelphia are headed to a Game 7 in their conference semifinal series. In Game 6 tonight in Philadelphia, the Sixers' big three come through. Jimmy Butler, 25. Ben Simmons, 21. Joel Embiid, 17 points, 12 rebounds. Sixers win 112-101, deciding Game 7 Sunday in Toronto. The winner plays the Bucks in Game 1 of the conference finals in Milwaukee next Wednesday. Of course, the Bucks finished off the Boston Celtics in Game 5 of the conference semifinals last night. After losing the first game of the series badly, the Bucks won 4 straight, and they really wanted to close out the series at home last night.
We're happy that we were able to clinch here in Milwaukee. We're happy that we are going to the third round, and we're happy that the people are into it.
I know that feeling going home. You're not playing your best the way you want to play, getting put out. I mean, this group came a long way. We, playing for each other, playing for the city of Milwaukee franchise. And we having fun.
The Brewers are off tonight. They'll try to extend their 6-game winning streak tomorrow afternoon when they open a series against the Cubs at Wrigley Field. At Wrigley this afternoon, the Cubs won again, 4-1 over Miami. Chris Bryant and Anthony Rizzo both hit homers. Cubs have won 10 of their last 11. They're in first place in the Central Division, a game ahead of the second-place Brewers. Saturday, thousands of students at the University of Wisconsin will receive their degrees in commencement ceremonies at Camp Randall Stadium. For new graduate Donald Hayes, it'll mean his journey has come full circle. Hayes was one of the best high school athletes in Madison history at East. He was first-team All-State in both football and basketball, excuse me. He played wide receiver at Wisconsin for 4 years before a 5-year career in the NFL. After retiring from football a decade ago, Hayes decided to finish his degree in Afro-American Studies at Wisconsin. Saturday, he'll be the first in his family to earn a college degree. At 43 years old, it wasn't easy.
The first week for me, now 20 years later, it was much harder than it was when I was a freshman, because now I got a family. I've been out in the real world working, and now I'm coming back. So I was kind of questioning myself, like, what do I get myself into? It took me a while to get my mind right back around it, that like, hey, I'm actually in school, so let's just buckle down and let's get this taken care of. And it was tough, but I mean, life is tough. But it was something that I know I needed it for myself, but then also, for my family.
Badger softball team opened the Big Ten tournament in Bloomington, Indiana today. 5th-seeded Badgers against the 12th-seeded Iowa Hawkeyes. Weather was an issue, a couple of delays, but when they did play, Melanie Cross was the star for the Badgers. Cross missed the last 19 games with an injury. She hadn't had a base hit since March 22nd, but today she had 3 hits, drove in 3 runs. And Kayla Conwent had 2 more RBIs and 2 more hits. Badgers win 7-4. They'll face Ohio State tomorrow morning at 10 in Bloomington. And we'll be right back.
We're looking at some good weather. Next week, maybe 80 degrees, right? We're getting there, right?
Yeah,
Slowly.
Slowly but surely. Now, just getting through this weekend, temperatures at least will be in the 60s for Friday and Saturday, the upper 50s on Sunday. We do have a shower chance starting to develop for us overnight into Sunday. So that shower chance will be early in the day on Mother's Day, especially on the western edge of the state. For next week, it will be much more mild with our temperatures every day staying in the 60s. And then by the end of the week, we'll be climbing on up into the 70s for Friday, Saturday, and close to 80 by Sunday. So we've had quite a rainy stretch so far this month. We, of course, are a little above average with our precipitation, so to have some sunshine for Friday and Saturday, definitely a good thing.
Especially for Mom as we get into the weekend.
Absolutely.
On graduates and all the things we got going on. Dana, thank you. Thanks for joining us for News 3 Now at 10.
Do something good, and we'll see you back here tomorrow.